Welcome to TRKJ News, and today we're here to talk about how the Constitution protects our basic rights. So today my main focus will be Indiana and the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Now, Memories Pizza told a gay couple that they wouldn't cater their wedding. This was okay because the act basically says that the government may only substantially burden the free exercise of religion of a person if the government has a compelling interest and only if they use the least restrictive means possible. Since there wasn't really a compelling interest, they were allowed to turn them away. Of course, we have no official religion because of the Establishment Clause, so we can't necessarily tell them they can't be Christian. And this also has a lot to do with the Free Exercise Clause. This, as you may know, says that you have the freedom to believe and practice any religion you want. The founders obviously thought this was a good idea to have no established religion and being able to believe what we wanted because England was so controlling, they didn't want the new colonies to be that way. Jump back to Indiana, and we see that under all of these laws and acts, the family does have the right to not cater the couple's wedding because of their religious beliefs. This act doesn't give Memories the right to discriminate against the gays. However, they even say that they would serve them if they came in, they just wouldn't go as far as catering their wedding. Not everyone agrees with Mike Pence, Indiana's governor, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Here's Jayna for more on the story and her opinion on the situation.
Thank you, Tori. And no, I do not think that limitations should ever be imposed on the free exercise of one's religious beliefs. Governor Mike Pence of Indiana had perfectly good intentions of reenacting the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, but religion should not be brought into a business in this sort of way. This bill states that nothing can stop the pizzeria, Memories Pizzeria, from serving this gay couple or any gay couple because it is their religious right that they believe that they don't have to serve them if they don't want to. And this not only affects just this one couple whose wedding they wanted to be catered, but it affects the Memories Pizzeria's reputation and their business. They could be losing a lot of business from believing this, but it's their right to believe it, but they chose to put it out in this sort of way, sort of in a negative connotation, even though they say that they're not discriminating against anyone because it's their right to believe this.
I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be talking about the First Amendment and how the freedom of expression falls under it. I will be talking about the Baltimore riots and the things that have happened there recently. In April, people were protesting and rioting because a young black man, Freddie Gray, died because he was not given the attention he needed from a police officer. People thought that by protesting and rioting, it would get their point across about how they feel about the situation, but it just made things worse. They thought that what they were doing fell under our basic right that we have, which is the freedom of expression. But in this case, that is not true. I believe that there are times when our freedom of expression needs to be limited, and this was one of those times. People were setting buildings and cars on fire and also hurting others. Once they started doing these things, this was when they were abusing our rights that we have. They thought that this was okay because we had the right to do what we want. But conflicts like these are things that take away our full right of expression. But I believe that they are just doing this to protect us. In this case, people need to limit their freedom of expression because they need to consider others. There are times when we can express ourselves, but if it harms others or others feel threatened by something that has happened, then I believe that we need this freedom to be limited. So yes, I do believe that there are limitations of rights that we have, but I also believe that these limitations are to protect our citizens. There are times when this right is taken advantage of, but I believe that there should be limitations because it could protect us all.
Yes, Rachel, I agree with you. There are times where freedom of expression should be limited for certain and specific reasons. This also relates to the Equal Protection Clause. And speaking of the Baltimore riots, the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment prevents the state government from practicing unfair discrimination. Let's say by police officers just shooting people based on their race. This law prevents law enforcement and state governments from discriminating people based on race, religion, ethnicity, and many other factors. Another question of the day is, should young people under the age of 18 have the same due process rights as adults? No, I do not believe that if you are under the age of 18 and you cannot be charged as an adult, then you should not be tried as an adult. Also, people under the age of 18 are rarely financially fit in their defense. They also are still under the supervision and custody of their parents or legal guardian.
Thank you, Kayla. Due process is the right to fair treatment through the normal judicial system. It is a fundamental constitutional guarantee that all legal proceedings will have equally fair time and that one will be given notice and opportunity to be heard before the government acts to take away one's life, liberty, or property. These are all guaranteed in the Constitution. In the Magna Carta, due process is referred to as law of the land and legal judgment of the peers. Some states' constitutions continue to use these phrases. The reference in the Fifth Amendment applies only to the federal government and its courts and agencies. The reference in the 14th Amendment extends protection of due process to all states, governments, agencies, and courts. Due process in the context of the United States refers to how and why laws are enforced. It applies to all persons, citizens, or aliens, and it is as well as corporations. Thank you for watching TRKJ News. Have a wonderful day.